Hi, my name is Ben. I'm also known as the Smiling Afro, and I'm a content creator and I'm a practicing Catholic.
Hi, I'm Huda, and I'm a project executive and I'm a Muslim.
Hello, I'm Serene. I volunteer with the Harmony Circles and I'm a Buddhist.
Hi, I'm Caleb. I'm currently a nursing student and I'm Taoist.
Hi, I'm Arti and I'm the Executive Director at the SPCA Singapore. I'm a practicing Hindu.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I volunteer with an organisation called Convert Central and I'm a Muslim.
What are some misunderstandings some people have about your religion?
You know the term halal?
Yeah.
You know the term haram?
Yeah.
So there's actually a range. It's not just halal and haram.
Oh.
So there's this thing called like makruh, where it's not advisable. There's this term where it's harus, where it's so-called in the middle. And there is this thing called sunnah, where it's advisable to do.
Oh.
So a lot of people just think it's halal and haram, but actually the religion has a spectrum.
Okay, I think for Catholics, there's multiple misunderstandings. Like a big one from the non-Catholics, the Christians, right? They feel that we Catholics worship Mother Mary or we worship idols, but it's not true. You know, we go to her for intercession, and they also feel that a lot of Catholics are very strict and like, oh, there's so much rules, you can't do anything. Say, I'm chill.
One big misunderstanding or misconception people have about Islam is that most people enter Islam because they are forced to or by circumstance. For myself, when I entered Islam, everyone thought that it was because of marriage. The first question is like, oh, are you married? Do you have a partner? Certain, assumptions that people don't enter Islam out of their own free will.
A lot of people fail to realize that Hinduism is actually pretty huge. They conflate it with race as well. So people don't realize that when you say Indian, people could be Indian Christian, they could be Indian Muslim, they could be Hindu. People automatically assume every Indian person has to be Hindu.
This deity called Guan Gong is this red-faced man. He holds a very large sword. So in the stories, right, he is depicted as a person who is very loyal, very courageous. So we wish to admire his values and that. So we worship him for his values and not to
Not him.
Yeah, not him, and not to for him to grant wishes. He's not a genie,
Yeah.
Some people, they will say like, oh, in Buddhism you worship the idol. But actually it's not. We don't worship the idol. So like the statue of the Buddha, which you find in most temples, right? It's just a representation of Buddha. He's not there, so it's just like you put up image photos of let's say your grandparents and so on. It's just to remind you of the teachings.
People tend to attach certain biases, and I think that's why there's general distrust, and often, it is at the expense of all the other people who are practicing their faith, not disturbing anybody else, just wanting to, express their own identity.
Yeah, it's true. You can read one good thing that a religious leader has done, but no one cares. But when you read about one bad thing he's done, everybody's, oh my gosh, the whole religion is just like him.
Yes.
As opposed to, hey, right, yeah, human drama.
Yeah, we love conspiracies.
We love it. Yeah. I love it.
Does your religion teach acceptance towards all, regardless of beliefs? How does your religion do that?
I think religion is something that is between whoever it is and their own faith, and then we have to respect people for that. Just like, for example, I cannot say my mother is better than your mother, right? Yeah, so of course your mother will be the best mother to you, and because she's the one who gave birth to you, and so on, you see. And there's no point in comparing. So if you don't compare, then you are able to accept also.
I would argue that actually the Catholic faith, we do teach acceptance. Like, if you talk about the Bible, it just says, one of the commandments, right? Love thy neighbor as yourself.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what it says. Full stop. There was no terms and conditions. Love thy neighbor as yourself, unless they are Indian or any other race, Malay or China, whatever, It's just love thy neighbor as yourself. Done.
So there's this verse in the Quran that says, your religion is your religion and my religion is my religion. So despite our differences, I should respect that you have your ways, you have your religion, and you should also respect my religion in such a way that I respect yours.
For myself, the biggest question that I had in my mind was actually as a Muslim now, I have non-Muslim parents, right? how then am I supposed to treat them, right? And in Islam, the emphasis is on, hey, whether your parents are Muslim or non-Muslim, you are supposed to treat them with utmost respect, and that is the priority, right? One of the things that we always emphasize on is that there's worship. Someone can pray the entire night, but one of the sayings of the Prophet is that he says, if you have good character, just having good character, you're kind, you're loving, you're peaceful, that you will then get the equivalent reward of someone that prays the entire night. Because everyone benefits from a person that has good character 24/7.
I really enjoy being Hindu because of the fact that there is no pressure on opting out, opting in. There's no such thing as conversion. In Singapore, every temple will also offer food. They will never ask you, what race are you, what religion are you? And I can enter a church whenever I'm feeling low and, I can find some calm there. And you can go to a mosque and they will give you porridge, during Hari Raya and everything, right? So there's always space for everybody.
I find that Taoism is generally very accepting. There's a misconception that yin is a negative thing and yang is a positive thing. There are more of things that exist simultaneously. I could apply that to religions, that my religion could not exist without yours and your religion could not exist without mine. So I feel like that's how Taoism accepts all religions in a sense.
Can you share something valuable you've learned from a religion other than your own? And how has this changed your perception in your day-to-day life? Oh, that's a really nice one.
Yes. Karma. I think growing up, right before learning about the concept of karma, I was always taught in church to just don't do bad things to your neighbor. But they don't really talk about the consequences. It's just don't do bad things. The consequence is just the end game.
Yeah.
But when I was found about karma and everything, and I believe strongly, right, in bad things happening to me if I do something bad. What goes around comes around.
Yeah.
I heard from my friends that during Ramadan, the purpose of fasting is to so-called understand the experience of how a poor person would be, and that somewhat brings you gratitude. And I feel like that is very important to have gratitude in life. Yeah.
To not take things for granted.
Exactly.
Yeah, and to always be mindful of all the things that you have.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I lost a friend and I actually went for the wake. It was the first time I had been to a Muslim funeral. There's actually a portion of this entire process, right? Where the religious leader or, the person that is leading the prayer, he would come forward and he would tell all the men there that if this person had owed you any debt, if this person had done something wrong to you, you have to forgive them. Okay, you have to agree now, okay, that you will put all this here. So I thought, it was very beautiful because it gave people closure, but more importantly, right, for that family of this person who's passed away, they are now not in a way having to worry about debt. They are not having to worry about people coming and knocking on their doors. So that concept of forgiveness at that point in time was so simple. A whole group of men standing there and agreeing that we will clear all that.
I think the most prominent thing I've learned about Taoism is the yin and yang.
Yin and yang.
Yeah. So it's there's good and there's bad, but there's good in bad and there's bad in good. Usually people want to have a black or white.
Black or white.
Black or white, right?
Yeah.
But actually there's grey matter in so many things.
Yes.
Yeah.
The yin and yang is basically the grey matter, yeah. That's a very good way of putting it.
Yeah.
In Sikhism, they offer free food to everyone regardless of your race or religion. They have it 3 times a day. Yeah.
3 times a day?
Yeah, I'm quite amazed also because it's a lot of food.
Wow.
And it's every day. I went once to serve and to eat also lah. I see a lot of people, a lot of foreign students, foreign workers, they will come and then they are not from the Sikh faith, and they still feel welcome and then they sit down and have their lunch because I think in Sikhism they do this because they feel like no one should go hungry.
How do you think religious diversity contributes to society?
I'm not saying that things here are perfect. They can always be better. There will always be people that we need to deal with. But I think when you travel and you see the world and then you think back about the fact that you can actually literally walk to a church, a temple, a mosque, and a Buddhist temple, everything in one row.
Yeah.
It's quite a special feeling, and to know that you feel safe in any of these places.
To me, it's a privilege because overseas, it really depends. Sometimes people see 2 persons of different race walking together and then they're like, so amazed, and I didn't really understand why until I came back to Singapore, because we grew up in this kind of environment where it's relatively harmonious, and I think it connects us better with the rest of the world also, because we are so diverse. We are open to getting to know about other people, right?
I think we're very fortunate to be living in Singapore, that we have so many people from all race and all religions, and we can actually learn from, and there's no like outright discrimination like the ones
to be
in
fair,
other
like,
countries.
Maybe out of all the people you meet in a day, all of them come from different religions, and it's an opportunity for you to learn more about it. That's not the case in every country,
Definitely.
Yeah. It's not like every day you get to meet a Buddhist, Taoist, Christian, Muslim, Hindu, all maybe in one session in a room.
I've always felt that the religious diversity in Singapore is very good for my soul. I always feel it's for my human soul.
A lot of privilege, right? Like to be able to enjoy so much.
And I get to learn and I get to experience, and for me, my life just becomes so much more meaningful.
I think, in Singapore, we, as Singaporeans in general, maybe the newer generations, we can't take things for granted. And being in situations like this show me that, hey, like, there's so much work that we can do. There's so much more things that we can discover when we have conversations like this.
Yeah.
I never knew I could get free food at like a Sikh temple. Like that was wow. Okay.
Torogo.
I might head over right now after this.
What a lovely way to end.
Oh, okay.
That was great. Okay.
That was great.
Okay.
Thank you both so much.